Let's talk about a problem that we can all smell. I think you know what I'm talking about up in Pleasant Grove. Now some say we should just live with it. Those businesses that want to go in there knew about the plant in advance of going in there, and so they should just live with it. But that begs the question, is that really the first best use of the land? The area has grown. There's a need for more land to develop. So first question is, what is the solution there? This is a conversation. I'm not
It is, yeah. I recognize that this is an issue which has come to the forefront, and it's something that we are concerned about. There are those that would jump ahead and say, county, do something about it. To me, again, part of the challenge there is that this is a special service district that was organized under the county, but it was organized for the cities. And they wanted to control it. They wanted to have representation on that board, and that's the way it's created. And they're the ones that make the decision. We do not, as a county, make the decisions for that district. Independent district, they have their own operating board, and so now as there's a problem and the board doesn't see it all one way, there are those that come to us and say, why doesn't the county fix this problem? Again, I tend to approach it from the standpoint that says, I don't want federal government coming in and taking over when we have a problem. We need to solve our problem. That's what most of the communities involved in the district are saying. Let us solve our problem. We're working at it. We've taken some giant strides to improve, that could be taken incorrectly, to reduce the frequency, the intensity, and the longevity of those odors at the times that they occur. That doesn't mean the problem's fixed. When that came, I was asked, if this doesn't work, what are you going to do? And I said, we'll continue to encourage the district to work at it to see if they can find other solutions that are permanent solutions, as opposed to stopping too quickly and having to continue to Band-Aid. So they're in that mode at this point in time.
Is the county's role one of just encouragement in this case, though? Do you have some authority over there that you can...
The authority that we have is to appoint an administrative control board. We have done that. Now, we can pull that back and we can reappoint members of the board, new members. The process for doing that is to advertise and have people who are interested submit their interest in running for that board, and then it could be appointed. Right now, we do that with 3 members, at-large members on the board, and the rest of them are appointed by the city. So we do have the control over reappointing a board, but to the extent of making daily decisions, we do not.
Do either of you have an opinion on what the ultimate answer is out there?
I believe basically, to add to what Commissioner Ellertson has said, the 13-member board, the problem that we have up there right now is that they have a conflict of interest in that they basically work for the cities, 10 of them, and they also are on the board. And when they swear the oath of office for the board, for the TSSD, they're supposed to be loyal to the board and to that organization that they're working for. We need to make sure that the people that are put on the board understand that they clearly work for the TSSD. And it's hard when you get your paycheck from the mayor and you work on the board to have an impartial view on what's going on with those particular issues. The issue is the composting, which I think most of you are aware. And the plant right now is not at full capacity. At some point, when it's at full capacity, they're not going to have room to do the composting there now. I would like to see the composting taken care of now and moved away from there. The problem is we're losing $60 million a year by some estimates in tax revenues because of the fact that the odor is driving businesses out of the area. The TSSD is saying, well, we make a little bit of money on there to offset our costs, but those costs are down in the $400 to $1 million range. So for me, 60 million, 1 million, this isn't an issue. We need to take care of the problem. We need to take care of it now. We need to solve it and have the board look at that issue.
But now this race is for county commission, though, and I think if I read your website correctly, you seem to indicate that you feel like it's the cities that aren't smelling the smell that are the villains and not being very cooperative in solving the problem.
No, I don't think that they're necessarily the villains, but, you know, we all have a little bit of an attitude, no matter who we are, that if it's not affecting me, I guess I don't have to worry about it. But when you are on the board, you have to worry about citizens of all of the areas, not just the area that you happen to be representative
But then
from.
what do you do as a county commissioner specifically to solve that problem?
I think you basically have to work with the cities, as Larry was saying, and make sure that the people that you select on the board understand their role and perhaps not work directly for the city, but have an independent role. They can be from the cities, obviously, to sit on the board and have representation, but they shouldn't be getting their paycheck specifically from the city.
In that regard, and this is not the only special service district that we have in the county. There are 5 of them that are organized similarly. And as we started to look into changing the manner in which boards were appointed, we're looking at all 5 of those districts so that we make those changes and they apply generally to all of them. We began to get some feedback, pushback by some of the cities on the other improvement districts, and this one as well, I should say, indicating that they don't want it to change. They want it to remain as is. So we do have a classic battle between the cities, or within the cities, as to what's the proper way to take care of that. And so we're kind of caught in the middle, and we're still working through that to see just how we can move forward to try and make that improvement through looking at potentially fewer members on the board. But the questions that arise are, then do you have geographic representation but just not people hired by the cities? Do you have these people? It was suggested by one that we ought to have people on there who aren't even in the cities so that they come totally independent. That's all being looked at the present time.